Morning, guys. Over there. Good morning, good morning, good morning, or should I say good afternoon? Um, can you hear me, guys? Let me know if you can hear. Um, Sorry for the late start. Been a rough night. Um, okay, so based on the way that I feel this morning, uh, more just tired. So I personally will not be trading this morning. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Shias. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Frankie. Yes, I just feel a little bit exhausted and worn out. So, but I will continue to look at the charts and do everything as normal. Good morning, Gandalf. Welcome to the live stream. So I apologize for being late. It's just been a very rough night indeed in our household. But let me just get a little bit of music or something, see if I can liven myself up. Okay, there we go. Now, yesterday, finally, gold decided to make its move after being stuck in a range for a few days. And if you remember rightly, I said the longer it stays in the range, this bit, the bigger the move is going to be. And this, Frankie said, this is where it's accumulation or distribution. Obviously, this was the accumulation because gold just popped to the upside. And once it went, there was no holding back. Unfortunately, as well, the trade that we had, I think through this one here, 1 o'clock, we got stopped at break even after hitting T1, and I went after cancelling my order above the highs. That is a huge shame because it just went. But never mind. Hopefully, some of you guys stuck with the order above the highs because it literally just didn't look back. I know one of our members did over 40% yesterday. You just have to be there at the right time, right, when it happens. And hopefully, you continue to see, hopefully, you get some of that momentum. Now, bias has to be long. Don't think because it moved $55 yesterday that it's going to go short today. The only time you look to trade short is when you see a change in structure and then you trade the next um, resistance formed. So you have potential buys above 29.86. You've got a 60 pip range here. So if we see a close above here, guys, you've got a breakout. 60, yeah, 62 pip range. Now, if you want the momentum entries in, but I wouldn't trade momentum entry at this time. Maybe you can do if you want, based on the fact that the market's crazy bullish. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't trade a momentum entry through the London session. Um, so wait for a close above, wick down, and then we can look to buy. Okay. Uh, so buys above. Oh, sorry guys. Like I said, I'm absolutely exhausted this morning. Morning, Rich. Morning, Prem. Now, obviously, we're talking all-time highs again here. Uh, it we could have another move like we did yesterday, which is it just smashes through the all-time highs and keeps going. But look, the further we go, maybe 3,000 is the marker, but maybe you get to 3,000 and we have a blow off top where it runs another $7 or $10, maybe $20, and then just spikes back down as it triggers loads of. There'll be a lot of people trying to sell at $3,000 or taking profit at $3,000, that's for sure, or just before it. So um, don't don't expect it to just keep going one-way traffic, and be mindful of where you've entered and how you're going to manage the trade. So you've got 11 minutes for the hourly candle to close. Yeah, to be fair, if you did take a momentum entry on the hourly based on the fact that it's formed an outside candle, taking out the low and then taking out the previous candle's high, I wouldn't say anything against that. But I think preference would for me would lie with waiting for the 15-minute to close above, then a wick down. Because in theory, your 15-minute and your 30-minute will be an outside candle as well. So yeah, it's all pointing like we're going to continue to the upside. Um, uh, right, let me just have a quick look. We'll come to the DAX in a second while we're marking that up. Uh, Sorry, I just need to do something because I am a little bit late to the screens this morning. Uh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, give it 10 minutes, wait for this one to close. Um, right, let's look at the DAX. Let's start with the daily. Ugh. Okay, so we are still sat within this candle's range. If you look, if we mark the high and the low of Tuesday, I think it is, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah. We haven't broken the high or the low of Tuesday yet. So we've literally two inside candles, and then we've obviously got today's. So let's have a look at the 4 hour. So as you can see, the 4 hour, if we just look at now, this is what's happening. Market's consolidating, it's squeezing. So again, this is it's a little bit like gold. The longer you consolidate, the longer you squeeze, the bigger the move out is going to be. So we were looking at this now, the 4 hour. We've got resistance here, and we have. Okay, so the support can pretty much stay where it is, but I'll just move it for illustration purposes. So this is the range that we have now formed on the hourly. I'm going to adjust it to here. And the reason I'm adjusting it to here is because this is where we see from above there, that's where we have nice clear range all the way up to 23,152. Um, Support, I'm just going to drop it in there for now because we're probably going to have 430, yeah, 20, 150 pip range there. So we can get short below here. So we can do sells below 22,430. We've got 150 pip range here. it doesn't look it because of the size of, or the magnitude of the previous moves. So we've actually got a big old no trade range here. If you look 22.8, it's like a 400 point, 390 point range, which is why this 150 pip zone looks pretty small. We're going to look for buys above 22.821. I would. So we've got 22.820, 180, 330, 330 pip range here. Let's have a look, see what news we've got. Oops. Mm, uh, uh, where is it? Forex factory. Forex factory. Must have closed it down. Right. Forex factory. 7 a.m. GDP from the UK in 4 minutes. We can watch that one fly around, and then we've got prelim University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations at 2 p.m. Now, I'm gonna have a pretty, I think I'm gonna have a pretty lazy day on the trading front today, to be fair, unless I pick up a little bit later, we'll see. But I think I'm gonna stay away from it. And like I said in the members chat yesterday, I've had one of my members had to pull out of coaching just recently for various reasons. So I do have one spare spot for now, and that will be potentially everyone that's in right now has probably got at least 2 to 3 months left of their sessions, and unless they renew, then there's going to be another 3 to 6 months before there'll be any spaces. So if anyone is interested in coaching, I do have one spare space right now. Okay, let's have a look at yeah, I'm going to leave the DAX like that. I'm not interested. I'm not going to work on these little ranges. When I say these little ranges, you see these little candles, and we've got no clear space above or below. It's just a bit choptastic. So I'm going to set my alerts. Let's get rid of the alerts from yesterday. Now, whether I'm trading or not, I'm still going to set my alerts just on the basis that if I am back in the land of the living later, then at least I will be alerted to a potential setup without having to stare at the charts. Breaking, uh, uh, breakout long. Let's go add alert. Good morning, Yoko. How are you, mate? Have you DAX breakout short? We're just setting a few alerts, mate. To be fair, I was a little bit late to the stream this morning. Had a wild night in the Owen household last night. Uh, not parties, not parties, just a very bad night, and I'm absolutely exhausted. So need to listen to the old body. So we've got the DAX mapped out. I'll share that in the members chat um, in a little bit. Nasdaq. Let's get rid of these. We've done gold. So let's have a look at the daily chart. Okay. So, hmm, okay. So as we were speaking about this movement here, we said our bias is the exact opposite to gold. So bias is short. Um, we are seeing impulsive moves, no corrective moves here. It's the only time we've seen a candle create an uprange candle is here. We've had an outside candle where it's broken the highs, but in this move, this candle here and this candle here are the only two since the 19th, no, since this 18th of Feb to have broken a previous day's high. So this one and oh, this one. And each time it's broken the highs, we've seen a substantial move lower the next day. Now, based on what I'm seeing here, this one, I saw the uprange candle and I was favoring a potential corrective move to look for a then sell. That's what I was looking for. I wanted to see the market push a little bit higher. However, that didn't materialize, and we've gone back into a downrange candle with a bearish close. So I think any break of yesterday's low should see moves back down to the support level we were highlighting yesterday, which is there. So you've got a huge move lower. Let's get rid of these. Let's go to the 4 hour. So bias is short, so we want to sell rallies, and in theory, we want to sell breakout short. Now, there could be an area to sell in here if resistance is formed, and we've got points down to support. So as you can see, support has been formed, but the hourly doesn't look as good as the 4 hour. So if the 4 hour, if I was a 4 hour trader and this candle closed like this, I'd just wait for the next 4 hour candle to wick up, we'd sell the low, and you've got at least 90 points to here and 175 to the lows. So you'd have to wait for that 4 hour candle to close. Yes, it means you can have a bigger stop because you're using the 4 hour chart, but the principles and everything are the same. So we've seen move come down, we've seen a correction, we've seen resistance form. The higher time frame is confirming. You might find it useful to set the alert using the horizontal ray, as the alert will move as you move the ray. That's a good idea. My only issue with that is I generally come in and I clear all the lines. So just in case I do something, I like the idea, but because I always clear all my lines before I start the analysis process, I'll try, maybe I'll try it and see what happens. See if I remember. Um, so yeah, this one, there's potential, but ideally, I don't want to trade the 4 hour. If price was to get up here and reject, then and we've had nice clear candles run us all the way up to 19,710, then we can look for a rejection. Um, Same would go. this is getting a little bit like the DAX. It's just very choppy. Strong move down, move back up. Strong move down, move up. Then you got all the like overnight candles where you got small bodies, wicks to the upside and to the downside. So not really something I'm favoring right now. So I would happily look for um, a rejection here. Should should we have clear candles running up? So nice big candle bodies running up here. So from let's just see if the levels stays the same on the 30. Yeah, okay. So we're going to look for buys above 19,711. So I have put the full info in on the alert. So I'd put breakout long or rejection to sell with trend. But remember, if we're going to sell with trend, we want to make sure that we have nice clear candles running to the upside. Um, and then we're going to look in here. Breakout short. God, maybe this is a combination of getting my body back in the gym. It's hit me hard. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Right. Let's get the news written on this chart. So major news today is USD, and it's coming out at 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We have both University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. So let's just drop those in there. Right. So we know 2 o'clock to be mindful that news is coming out and basically not to have any pending orders sat there waiting to get spiked in or potentially stopped out. So if you are placing trades, be mindful. News is coming out at 2 o'clock. We could see some spikes um, on this market that could cause you some distress with your trading account. All right, let's just drop these in here. Aha, there you go. Look at that. The the reason why we wait for candles to close, just that extra few minutes, like an extra 3 minutes, showed that price failed to close above the resistance, and the market didn't end up giving you the outside candle closing above the highs. It came back down and closed within the range. We're still going to keep the range because the range is still valid. I think if you look at this now, you've had the high, low, new high. It's coming down. We don't know if this is going to be the high because this candle could wick down. It could come all the way down here without breaking the lows before it breaks the highs and goes back on. So principles still remain for buys above. Sells, I'm going to have to wait a bit longer. I'm not even going to mark on where potentially look for a sell because it depends what happens in this next couple of hours. Maybe it spikes up and then comes down. If it does, then you have a lower high. Then this will be a support level. So then you've got a break in structure. Then we can wait for resistance to form. So it's going to take a few hours to unfold for that potential setup. So in theory, we need to create a lower high and a lower low, and then we can look for resistance to be formed to think about shorts. Any questions so far, guys? Uh, I think today could be a day for most to put your feet up and relax. Uh, what have I got on today? Uh, okay, guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because there's not a lot going on these markets um, for me right now. Yeah, I don't mind having a look at a couple of others for you. Um, let's so what's going on with pound yen? Ugh, again, we're testing this daily area. Okay, so testing the daily area. Let's readdress. So we have false break, we have resistance, another false break. Oh, did what was the news on GDP? Uh, GDP. Uh, oh, there's a surprise. Came in at negative zero point 0.1, so it was a miss. Didn't really have. I'm guessing. Uh, Market was kind of expecting something similar because it's not had a huge impact. Yes, it's down, but not massively. Um, right, so we'll come back to pound yen. So pound yen potential. It's the area to consider looking for sells. Right, resistance could be forming here. Do you have clear pathway to the next support level? 12, 20, 32 points? Yes. So you're going to have to wait for this 30-minute candle to close, and then you could look for opportunity. But again, it's not a chart I'm really over enthusiastic about looking at. I think if I was looking for sells, where's the highest probability? 9102. Yeah, probably if I was going to look at pound yen, it'd be something like sells under here, sells below 191.05. Mm, yeah. Uh, okay. I'd come away from this. Let's look at euro yen. Okay, euro yen. This from a daily perspective it looks better for upside. If you look, there was your older resistance. We've broken out. We've created daily resistance. We've come back down. We've tapped it, and buyers have come back in. So based off 4 hour, we look at this, structure was broken, we've come down. Again, the candles is I don't like the candles there. They're not offering much for me to for clarity. Um, I think you could look for longs here. Do you have, let's see what room you have. 14, 30 pips. So I think if you want to go for that one, you've got 30 pips available. 61.56, 61.56. So you've got 46 pip range there that's a bit cleaner. Uh, and we have sells below. So I'm not trading it, guys, and I'm not entertaining it. But if I wanted to map it out, I'd look at this as a no trade range. I'd look for, oops, sells below 160.23, and I'd look at buys above 161.57, and that would be it for me. The rest of it, I'm not in, not entertaining. Um, so I've got a feeling today's going to be a quiet day. Any charts anyone's liking the look of, or you marked up and you've got your analysis set, so you know what you're going to do should the DAX or the Nasdaq or gold set up for you. Who's got all their charts set up? Yeah, everyone got all set up. Yeah, uh, I'm literally. I think I'm gonna. Oops. I think I'm gonna close my screens apart from coaching today. Yeah, let's. I think it'll just be coaching. No trading for me today. Gold. Yeah, stick with the bias. Stick with the bias. So even and what I mean by that is even if it comes down, don't be alarmed if it comes down. Wait for support to be formed. I.e., wait for a sell a candle, buy a candle, wait for a wick down, buy the high. Keep it very simple. Just think of your BPC rules. So maybe you just go BPC trades and breakout long only. So you could you comment on dollar source? I think Nolan or Adam mentioned on their session but couldn't attend. Well, if we go back a few weeks, I said sell Swissy back here. Right now, I'd be interested in long dollar Swiss based on where it is. Impulsive move, looking at a correction. Um, the we do have a little minor resistance here that I think if we need to break out of to get long, at least into this next structure point. um, your bias though, if we look at the bias, I would expect market to come down, impulse, correction. So somewhere, let's say, in this region for it to pull up into. This is pure old like technical charting. Use this as like a counter trend line, so we'd expect the market to maybe do this kind of thing. and then that. Yeah, it's in correction now. So this is your impulse. Impulses will move very, very different to correction. So if you look, impulse, you tend to have in uptrend or downtrend. So if it's an uptrend, you generally see like strong momentum candles, uprange candles, and outside candles. If it takes out the low, it'll generally close above the high. In a correction, the move will be like this. You don't see it as aggressive. You see smaller body candles, wicks, maybe a move back up. Um, it's generally a lot of more of a softer move. Obviously, it's that's a rule of thumb. Um, Hence, a correction generally retraces like this. Then you get your counter trend line, and then you look to break it, continue with it. But just remember, yes, it was in an impulse move yesterday. But if we go back to gold and have a look at each time it's created a new all-time high, or each time it goes in an impulse, does it just last one day, or does it go? Look at this impulse move. Started here December, and it went for 45 days. It had a bearish day within there, which that bearish day would be a correction on a lower time frame, but the daily correction didn't come until here, 25th of Feb, and it lasted all of 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and then we've started again. So always just be mindful of the higher time frame. Could we see another 45 days? I doubt it, but yeah, we could. So this impulse lasted what, 16 days, 15 days. Now, I'm not going to categorize these impulses. Why do you think that is? What, why do you think I wouldn't count these two moves here as impulses? Mm, Move can be impulsive on the daily and maybe corrective on the 4 hour. The other way around. Because if we've got a move here, if this is impulsive, yeah, it's going to be impulsive on on them. But what you will get is you will get a period, let's say, where this one day is just a daily pullback. So in there, you'll probably get consolidation on the hourly, or you might get a corrective move. Yeah. So yeah, you're right, Gandalf. So where you get these 1 day pullbacks or 2 day pullbacks, um, doesn't necessarily create a new low, but you will get some sort of correction or consolidation that you can look to trade out of. But where you get these corrections here, so where you get a corrective move like this is where you can get a trend on the lower time frame. You get a downtrend on the lower time frame here, downtrend on the lower time frame here. let's have a look. Uh, okay, Kiwi. Now remember things like Kiwi and Aussie and CAD are very linked to risk when it comes to the indexes. So when we have risk on scenarios, if indexes are very bullish, you'll find that that will pull the risk currencies with them. If indexes are bearish, that will pull the risk currencies down with them. So if we have another selling day on the indexes today, don't be surprised if Kiwi breaks out of this range and starts dropping to the downside, or Aussie for that matter. They're not exactly lovely looking charts at the minute. Yeah, I'm not overly enthusiastic with any charts today. We need something to happen. So if we break these lows, then potentially gold is creating. No, I'd wait. See what happens if it breaks here, guys. Uh, if it breaks this area, because then we start to go into a bit of clean range. Realistically, your thought process should be thinking BPC. Um, we want to see the market come down. We want to see buyers form. Then we want to continue with the trend. We don't want to try and do anything wild and wacky yet. Where did I put there? There we go. Only downside when the market moves so aggressively like that, you can't stretch it out too much because you can't get your text on the screen. Um, you know what, guys? I'm going to give it 5 minutes. There's going to be no trades for me today. This is the art of patience today. I should say there's going to be no trades for me this morning. I don't think I'll trade this afternoon. If I, oh dear me, if I do, I'll hop on a live stream. I'm not going to schedule anything yet. I need to see how the day pans out. I've got coaching session. Gandav, I'll create a Zoom link and send that over for you, buddy. I've not done that yet. So let me just check my calendar now for coaching. Uh, okay, this morning's completely chocker. 12. Potentially I could do 12 till 1. Um, yeah, I'm completely chocker. So potential for 12 till 1. Um, uh, yeah. Um, so potential for a live stream at 12 till 1. That's the only space that I have available now. Because it's like I said, I just realized I had a cancellation. I've not taken that cancellation out of my Friday calendar yet. So um, anyone interested in one-to-one mentoring, we do have a one space available to fit in my calendar now on a weekly basis. So if it's of interest, message me. I am going to send out an email soon to the base. So it will be a first come, first served, as I cannot recreate time in my calendar. Okay, guys. So on that note, uh, massive well done to one of our members. I'm not going to give the name out But yesterday, they, like I said earlier in the stream, they did over 40% yesterday. 40. Yeah, it's massive, massive, massive. I guess that's what happens if you catch one of those beast of a moves. So well done. If that was on the instant or proper count, you would have had an unbelievable day. Um, okay, Anna, I'll see you at 12 o'clock if I do it. Okay. So, oh, 1 second, guys. Let me just take. Bear with me 1 second. No, I don't know who that was. So I just wanted to answer quickly. Um, okay. On that note, guys, let's call it a day. Well done. Thanks for rocking up early on a Friday morning. Um, I'll see you maybe this afternoon. If not, have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Bye, guys. Take care. Bye bye.